Hello, check sound.
Is Tax Conclave 2024, the fifth edition. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Chartered Accountant Dipti Jain from Mumbai, and I have traveled all the way to Ahmedabad to host wonderful people and professionals, dignitaries like you in 2 days mega conclave organized by All Gujarat Federation of Tax Consultants and Income Tax Bar Association, Ahmedabad. As told by Albert Einstein, the hardest thing in the world is to understand the income tax. And Alfred Newman has said very well, today it takes more brains and efforts to make out the income tax form than it does to make the income. Atmanirbhar Bharat, the vision of our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, it aims to make the country and its citizens independent and self-reliant in all senses. He further outlined the 5 pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat being economy, infrastructure, system, vibrant demography and demand. And economy, we all know, he's targeting for 3 trillion economy. Prime Minister Modi ji coined a new slogan saying Sabka Prayas is important in India's journey of building the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, and Sabka Prayas is important in our journey of building the Atmanirbhar Bharat of our dreams. और जब बात 3 trillion economy की आती है तो how can we miss out the direct taxes and indirect taxes? Direct tax collection up to 10th of February 2024 shows that gross collection are at 18.38 lakh crore, which is 17.30% higher than the gross collection for the corresponding period of last year by the CBDT. The tax to GDP ratio should be at an all-time high next year at 11.7% from 11.6% this year. The total indirect taxes collection were estimated to amount 15,29,200 crore in 2023-24. So this is the significance of taxes in India. And we being masters of taxes and rulers of finance got so much to contribute to our country, Bharat. This meticulously designed 2 days tax conclave with thought-provoking sessions will help you unlock your tax potentials and be brilliant from confusion to tax inclusion, from tax solutions to a magical evaluation. Let's navigate together this 2 days tax journey, embrace opulence in tax management, where we learn mastery in art of tax optimization, artistry in tax planning. Here I request our President CA Ashish Tekwani ji, President ITBA, CA Ravi Shah, President AGFTC, CA Bakul Shah, Chairman Convention Committee, CA Advocate Dhiren Shah, Chairman Conference, CA Jay Kishan Pamani and CA Sridhar Shah, Honorable Secretary of ITBA and AGFTC, and Chairman and Vice President AGFTC, CA Dr. Vishwesh Shah, to please escort our today's chief guest, Bhargav Karia, on the dais. Now I request President ITBAC Ashish Tekwani ji to please welcome our today's August gathering.
Dear professional colleagues, at the outset, I express my heartfelt gratitude to one and all for keeping the faith in us and being part of this event. The Income Tax Bar Association is setting a high bar for the last 77 years in the motto of spreading knowledge and supporting all members and tax professionals. In the current year also, I have tried to raise the bar by focusing on improvement of professional capacities of the members, and I am committed to doing it in my remaining term. 2-day tax conclave. It is now not a name, but a brand in itself. It is the 5th consecutive edition of the landmark event. 2-day tax conclave is a unique event where knowledge takes the front seat. The panel, discussion and networking are an added advantage and cherry on the cake. I am sure all the members will benefit a lot, no matter in whichever field they practice in. The brand has been developed due to the brilliance of speakers and brain trustees who deliver their best to the participants who have been regularly attending with increasing number every year. It is also an honor to have Honorable Justice Bhargav D. Karia, Gujarat High Court, to bless us and share his wisdom with us. He, as a chartered accountant, as an advocate, and as a judge, truly represents the members in all respects. I would like to express my sincere thanks to all the learned brain trustees and the speakers. Sir, you all are the lead actors of our movie 2-Day Tax Conclave. Advertisers, supporters, contributors are the producers of our 2-Day Tax Conclave, without whom we would not have been a success. I would like to specially thank you all for providing us the support. We have our one of the lead actor here. Thank you, sir.
Here we welcome Girish Ahuja, sir, the encyclopedia of taxes among us.
This brand 2-Day Tax Conclave is an outcome of efforts of the entire team of Tax Conclave, including the Chairman Conference, Chairman Convention Committee, Co-Chairman Conference, Co-Chairman of various committees, Chairman of various committees, and Office Bearers of AGFTC and ITBA. You all are the real directors of the brand. There are several people working at the front end and the back end to make this program a huge success. I take this opportunity to thank you all collectively and individually for making this event a success and making me stand here. No movie can be hit without our audience. Our audience, our participants, their attendance in huge number is the sole inspiration that has motivated us to bring this 5.0 event of our event. The registrations in huge number have been really motivating and an humbling experience. The overwhelming response and the exceeding the registration limit feels truly a blessing. I invite you all, the participants, to take part in the session and make most of the non-stop flow of knowledge. Henry Ford has said, anyone who stops learning is old, whether 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays fit. So stay young, keep learning, stay fit and stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, President ITBAC Ashish Tekwani ji, for wonderful address. Now I request President AGFTC C. Ravi Shah to please come on the podium and address today's gathering.
Jai Shri Krishna. Very warm, cordial welcome to today's Chief Guest, Honorable Justice Gujarat High Court, Bhargav Karia sir, Chairman Conference, respected Advocate Dhiresh T. Shah sir, Chairman Convention Committee, C.A. Bakul Aisa sir, ITBA President, colleague C.A. Ashish Tekwani, Senior Vice President, AGFTC, and my dear friend, C.A. Vishwesh Shah, Honorary Secretary, AGFTC, C.A. Sridhar Shah, Honorary Secretary, ITBA, Jai Kishan Pamnani, Tax Guru and Speaker of the first session, respected Dr. C.A. Girish Ahuja sir, Co-Speaker, Advocate C.A. Dinalbhai, dignity of the dais, past President of AGFTC and ITBA, participants coming from all the corners of Gujarat, members from media, and my dear friends. Today, I feel privileged to stand before you as a President of AGFTC and welcome you all. AGFTC is a state-level organization, and it is at the moment having more than 1,550 members across the Gujarat. AGFTC is actively engaged in organizing official seminars and other seminars on direct and indirect taxes. AGFTC is also actively representing the current issues of the stakeholders to the government. Friends, I describe today's event as a Vidya Gyan Utsav. We are coming back to Sanskrit, so I have picked up some sentence from Sanskrit, and I describe today's event in my personal view is a Gyan Mahotsav. And in Shastra, it is said that for Vidya Gyan, na chor harya, na raja harya, na bhatru bhajya, na cha bharakari. Vyaye krute vardat eva nityam, vidya dana sarva dana pradhanam. Friends, meaning Vidya is as such, na chor harya, meaning koi chor ene chori nathi shakto, na raja harya, જેની ઉપર કોઈ કર રાજા લાદી નથી શકતો, ન ભાતૃ ભાજ્ય જેમાં કોઈ ભાગ ભાઈ ભાતૃ માગી નથી શકતા, ન ચ ભારકારી જેનું કોઈ વજન નથી. વ્યયે કૃતે વર્ધતી એવ નિત્યમ, મિનિંગ એક જ આ ધન એવું છે કે જેનો જેટલો વપરાશ કરીએ એટલું એ વધે છે, અને એટલે જ વિદ્યા ધન સર્વધન પ્રધાનમ. I hope we all will be blessed with such Vidya Gyan during these 2 days tax conclave. I believe knowledge gathered from this conclave will not benefit all participants, but also contribute to the betterment of the society as a whole. With this knowledge, I believe we all collectively contribute to the Bharat growth story and the dream of developed economy of our Honorable Prime Minister. I extend my sincere thanks to Justice Gujarat High Court Bhargav Karia sir for accepting our invitation and being with us. I extend my thanks to all the speakers, panelists for accepting our invitation and being with us. I thank you all the sponsors for providing financial support. I thanks from bottom of heart to all delegates for overwhelming response resulting into closure of the event few days before. I also thank Chairman, Co-Chairman, entire team, MOC, staff, and all. Thank you. Wish you all happy learning. Thank you.
Thank you, President AGFTC CA Ravi Shah, for addressing our today's enthusiastic gathering. Now I request Chairman Conference, Advocate Dhiresh T. Shah, to please come on the podium and address today's gathering.
President of all Gujarat Federation of Tax Consultants, Ravi Shah, President of Income Tax Bar Association, Ashish Tekwani, Chief Guest, Honorable Justice Bhargav Karia sir, Judge, Gujarat High Court, learned speakers and friends. I warm welcome to the 5th edition of our Tax Conclave 2024, proudly hosted by all Gujarat Federation of Tax Consultants and Income Tax Bar Association, Ahmedabad. It's a pleasure to have Honorable Sri Bhargav Karia sir, Judge, Gujarat High Court, to inaugurate this event. His vast legal expertise and valuable asset to all of us. Friends, let us welcome him with big rounds of applause. I am truly grateful to both the association for entrusting me with the honor of chairing this conclave. It's a responsibility I hold with great pride, knowing the dedication this association has towards our professional community. In today's fast-paced world, staying updated with the latest knowledge and regulation is vital. This conclave is a platform for us to learn and network, ensuring we stay ahead in our field. Special thanks to all Gujarat Federation of Tax Consultants and the Income Tax Bar Association for their hard work in organizing this event. It's become a cornerstone for our profession, offering valuable insight and connections. Taxation can be a complex, but fear not. Our in-depth topics covering everything from charitable trust to GST will help simply these complexities and provide practical solutions. As we engage in a discussion, let us seize this opportunity to learn, connect, and grow together. Thank you all for being here, and let me make tax conclave 2024 an event to remember. મિત્રો એક ખાનગી વાત જાહેર કરું, અમે બધાએ તો કામ કર્યું છે, સેમિનાર દર વર્ષે સારી રીતે ઉજવાય છે, આપણે સારી રીતે બધું ભણીએ છીએ. આપણામાં એક મિત્ર એવો છે કે જે કામ બધું કરે છે પડદા પાછળ રહીને, એટલે એ માણસ એમ શા માટે ખબર નથી પણ એનું નામ આપવાની ના પાડે છે, અને પુષ્કળ એનું ગાઈડન્સ, એનું માર્ગદર્શન, એની લીડરશિપ આપણને ખૂબ સારી રીતે વર્ષોથી મળી રહી છે. એ વ્યક્તિનું નામ આજે હું જાહેર કરું છું, અને અહીંયા આપણી સામે ધ્રુવેન શાહ બેઠા છે, આપણે એમને તાલીઓથી વધાવી લઈએ. થેન્ક યુ.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful speech. Now I request Chairman Convention Committee CA Bakul Shah to please come forward and address our today's gathering.
Honorable Justice Sri Karia Sahib, Girish Ahuja sir, respected speakers, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. એવું કહેવાય છે કે જે વ્યક્તિ પ્રકૃતિના સથવારે જીવે છે એને ઈશ્વર પણ એના જીવનમાં ખલેલ નથી પહોંચાડતો. આપણે જોઈએ છે તો પુષ્પ કોઈ ઈશ્વર ભક્ત નથી, નદી કોઈ કાલી માતાની ભક્ત નથી, તો વૃક્ષ કોઈ શિવ ભક્ત નથી, પણ પુષ્પમાંથી આપણને સૌંદર્યની દીક્ષા મળે છે, નદીમાંથી આપણને ગતિની દીક્ષા મળે છે, અને વૃક્ષમાંથી આપણને ધ્યાનની દીક્ષા મળે છે. તે જ રીતે શિક્ષણ અને જ્ઞાન આપણને એક સંપૂર્ણ સાચા અને સારા માણસ બનાવવાની દીક્ષા આપે છે. અને એટલે આજે જે આ ટેક્સ કોન્ક્લેવ આપણે આયોજન કરીએ છીએ એટલા માટે જ કરીએ છીએ કે આ ફેસલેસના જમાનામાં આપણા બધાની ફેલોશિપ જતી રહી છે, આપણે સારા સારા સ્પીકરોને મળી શકતા નથી, સાંભળી શકતા નથી. એટલે આજના કોન્ક્લેવની અંદર આખા ગુજરાતના એક એક ખૂણામાંથી આવ્યા છે મિત્રો, ઉત્તર ગુજરાત, દક્ષિણ ગુજરાત, મધ્ય ગુજરાત, સૌરાષ્ટ્ર વગેરે. એટલે આપ સૌ અહીં આટલી મોટી સંખ્યામાં પધાર્યા છો એ બદલ ખૂબ આનંદ થાય છે. આપણા જ્ઞાન યજ્ઞની અંદર આપણને આશીર્વાદો આપવા માટે કારિયા સાહેબ પધારેલ છે, તેમજ બહુ બધા જાણીતા સ્પીકર પણ પધારેલ છે. અને હવે જ્ઞાન અને શિક્ષણ એવું થયું છે કે પહેલાં જે ઇન્કમ ટેક્સની મેન્ટાલિટી બધું પતી જશે એ હવે બધું જતું રહ્યું છે. અને તમે હમણાં એક છેલ્લો દાખલો જોયો હોય તો 43 BHનું ડિસ્કશન ચાલતું હતું, ત્યારે એક આપણા પ્રોફેશનલ મિત્ર એમાંથી બચવા માટે જુદા જુદા રસ્તા બતાવતા હતા, અને ગિરીશ આહુજા સર સામે જ હતા. એટલે એમણે પેલાની વાત કાપી નાખી અને એમ કીધું કે ભાઈ બેસી જા, આવું ખોટું ના વિચાર કે અભી ये बुरा काम करना, सब गलत काम करना छोड़ दो, नहीं तो मोदी जी सुधार देंगे. આમાં ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ વાત તો આ છે કે જે પેલો શોલેમાં ગબ્બરનો ડાયલોગ હતો ને એ ક્લિપ જેટલી ફરી હશે ને એના કરતાં વધારે આ ક્લિપ ફરી છે. પ્રોફેશનલ સર્કલમાં તો ફરે જ, પણ આપણા ફેમિલી સર્કલમાં કોઈને ખબર હોય કે ભાઈ આ ટેક્સેશનની પ્રેક્ટિસ કરે છે તો એ પણ આપણને મોકલે કે તમે સુધરી જાઓ ને તો મોદી સાહેબ સુધારી દેશે. એટલે આજે આ જ્ઞાન યજ્ઞમાં આપણે બધાને સારી રીતે સાંભળવા આવ્યા છીએ. આપ સૌ આટલી મોટી સંખ્યામાં ઉપસ્થિત રહ્યા એવું બદલ કન્વેન્શન કમિટીના ચેરમેન તરીકે અંતરપૂર્વક અને ખરા હૃદયપૂર્વક આપ સૌનો આભાર માનું છું. મને 2 મિનિટનો સમય હતો, પતી જાય છે. આપ સૌનો ફરીથી ધન્યવાદ. થેન્ક યુ.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful address. Now I request Advocate Dhiresh Shah, Chairman Conference, and CA Bakul Shah, Chairman Convention, by book to welcome our chief guest, Honorable Justice Bhargav D. Karia ji. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause. Now I request CA Ravi Shah, President of AGFTC, and CA Ashish Tekwani, President of Income Tax Bar Association, to welcome our chief guest with a token of gratitude. Light is considered as an auspicious act in our Indian culture. I request all the dignitaries on the dais and CA Girish Ahuja sir also to please come forward for lighting of the lamp.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा.
Thank you all the dignitaries. I would request our chief guest, Honorable Bhargav D. Karia ji, along with our presidents of both the organization, for the unveiling of IT Mirror 10th edition by ITBA. This edition has been completely comprised by all the women tax professionals. The articles in this book is being contributed by women tax professionals, and for unveiling the Tax Gujarati by AGFTC, its first edition. AGFTC has come up with the first edition of Tax Gurjuri for the benefits of its stakeholder. And the 10th edition IT Mirror, in this all the articles have been contributed by the women tax professionals of ITBA. I request all for the group photograph. Now it's time to introduce our Honorable Justice Bhargav D. Karia, the chief guest of today's conclave. He had completed his chartered accountancy in the year 1990 and has been in practice. He had completed his Bachelor of Law from Gujarat University, Ahmedabad in 1993 and enrolled with Bar Council of Gujarat as an advocate. He practiced in High Court of Gujarat and ITAT mainly specializing in direct and indirect tax laws appearing for the assessees. Represented individuals and corporate houses in other areas of law before the Supreme Court of India, High Court, and the Debt Recovery Tribunal and other forums, yet participated in many mediation and arbitration matters. Elevated as Judge, High Court of Gujarat on 5th March 2019, and now being the Justice Bhargav, being the Justice of the Gujarat High Court. He had been given the important landmark judgment as the Ahmedabad District Cooperative Milk Producers Union Limited versus ITO, Principal Commissioner of IT versus National Dairy Development Board, and the Principal Commissioner of IT3 versus Asian Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, with big round of applause, please welcome our honorable chief guest, our distinguished chief guest, Bhargav D. Karia ji. Sir, the dais is all yours.
Office bearers of the Income Tax Bar Association, CA Ashish Tekwani, President, Sri Sridhar Shah, Vice President, as well as the Honorary Secretary of the All Gujarat Federation of Tax Consultants, Sri Jai Kishan Pamnani, Secretary, CA Maulik Patel, Joint Secretary, and CA Shivam Bhavsar, Treasurer. Office bearers of the All Gujarat Federation of Tax Consultants, President CA Ravi Shah, Vice President C.A. Vishwas Shah, Treasurer Sri Maulin Shah, Chairman of Convention Committee Sri Bakul Shah, Chairman Conference Sri Advocate Dhiresh T. Shah, who is like a Bhishma Pitama for this conclave, and other co-chairmen of the conference. Learned eminent speakers, expert speakers, Girish Ahuja sir, Mr. Advocate C.A. Dinal Shah, and dear participant friends coming from all over Gujarat and from Ahmedabad. Good morning to all. I feel privileged to be part of this 5th edition of the two-day Taxclave Conclave 2024 on direct and indirect taxes. It is very kind on part of the All Gujarat Federation of Tax Consultants and Income Tax Bar Association Ahmedabad to invite me for inauguration and to deliver keynote address on this occasion. I compliment and congratulate the organizers for arranging such tax conclave on a yearly basis that is beneficial to all professionals practicing on direct and indirect taxes. I am sure that all the participants shall enrich their knowledge by the experience of the expert speaker in the field of various subjects for 2 days. To be very frank, I was also one of you, practicing on tax laws before crossing over to judicial side in the year 2019. I therefore feel standing before here like Ghar Vapsi. I am lucky to be the part of division bench dealing with direct and indirect matters from time to time, which has given me a great learning experience of various subjects in depth from the tax experts in the field, simultaneously an opportunity to be part of the justice delivery system. Friends, we all know how Income Tax Act has evolved, for which we all are here together. Let us recapitulate. The first seeds of the modern day system of direct taxation in India, as we know, it were sown by the British. Tax on income was introduced in India by Sir James Wilson, and separate Income Tax Act was passed in the year 1886. This was then replaced by an act passed in 1918, and thereafter Income Tax Act 1922, which was inherited by us, and this Act of 1961 came into force from 1st April 1962. It is not just the policy and the legislative changes that have helped evolve tax jurisprudence. We also owe to the legacy laid down by the Honorable Supreme Court, right from McDowell, where Justice O. Chinnappa Reddy has held that judgment that the Duke of Westminster doctrine, which looked benignly upon tax avoidance, was dead and gone even in the England. But we continued that, and thereafter in the case of Justice Rumapal, Justice Srinivasan, Justice Sri Krishna, in the case of Azadi Bachao Andolan, and still recently in Vodafone by Constitution Bench, the same was again explained. It is a matter of comport for the harassed SSE that the tribunal and the courts have time and again stepped into to make the operation of the tax laws more equitable. Tax laws are subject to strict interpretation. However, the courts have often gone out of their way to use purposive interpretation in order to make sure that beneficial provisions does not become a dead letter in law due to the ambiguities. The judgment of the courts on the issue pertaining to the statutes of the indirect taxation have also explained the interpretation to be placed on beneficial provision. In case of Parle Exports, 1989 1 SEC 345, it was held by the division bench of the Honorable Supreme Court that when two views of a notification are possible, it should be constructed in the favor of the subject, and that while interpreting an exemption clause, liberal interpretation must be imparted to the language thereof, provided no violence is done to the language employed by the statute. A three-judge bench of the Supreme Court in case of Sun Exports Corporation, reported in 1997 6 SEC 546, had held that even when two views are possible, one favorable to the SSE matters of tax in the matter of taxation has to be preferred, which are all well-known phenomena. However, we should also know that five-judge bench in case of Dilip Kumar and Company, 2018 9 SEC 1, has held that every taxing statute at the threshold should be interpreted strictly, and in the case of ambiguity of charging provisions, the benefit goes to the SSE. In case of exemption provision, benefits must be strictly interpreted in favor of revenue. It is moot that all these decisions are directly applicable to the interpretation of the income tax also, though they are in the realm of indirect taxes. Now this comes, let us see how the changes in tax laws have affected our day-to-day life. Even though authorities under the income tax have not changed, but since year 2019, 2020 and 2021, there have been drastic changes are made in the justice delivery system as far as the Income Tax Act is concerned. The Finance Act 2019 paved the way for the e-assessment scheme, which was later renamed as faceless assessment scheme. The change introduced by it in procedure of assessment has been revolutionary, and it purposed to remove the then existing human interference in the assessment proceedings. Now, there is also, we are looking forward to faceless, we have also now been with the Faceless Appeal Scheme 2020, which was introduced to remove human interference in the first appeal before the CIT appeals. At present, we come across as in the judiciary on this side, when practicing on or dealing with the cases, there is a lot of backlog with the CIT appeal, and the matters are there for granting of stay of the demand, which is pending. It is known to us that more than 3 to 4 years, appeals are not heard. I don't know why this backlog is piled up. You all people, all those federations, then have to take up this issue with the department for the same. Similarly, we have to also to give the credence to the tax technology is necessary for the organization to thrive in the new digital world. It can also become an opportunity for early movers and who embrace technology into the tax function to add more value to business and take informed decisions for the future. Traditionally, tax functions have functioned in silos and have been technology deprived. However, with the emergence of new technologies, digitization of the working world, government going digital, and new transparency requirements are forcing organizations to take immediate action to respond to the changing landscape and harness the opportunity to make tax functions more strategic and responsive to the business needs. Lack of preparation, visibility, and analytical capabilities across data sources can leave all taxpayers to the risk of real-time audits, increased tax penalties, refund delays, and reputational risk. Therefore, in order to overcome this aspect, technology needs to be adopted to improve how the tax is integrated with the finance and other functions to have seamless data extraction using tax-specific tools and solutions for automation and analytics. Every tax professional needs to have analytical capabilities. We have to upgrade ourselves to match with the technology at all levels to help the business take informed decisions. Now the most important aspect is that piling up of litigation. How to reduce the litigation in our tax laws. While initiatives such as dispute resolution scheme addressing pending litigations are welcome, a real and permanent solution to reduce tax litigation can only emerge if it addresses the institutional structure and governance within the tax administration on the how the tax disputes are resolved. In other countries, as a general practice, one wing of tax administration does not appeal against the appeal ruling given by the another section of the tax administration. In Australia, Canada, United States, and the United Kingdom, once the tax administration decides, that is, once an assessment order is passed, then or the CIT appeals decide a matter, then there is no further appeal is by the department. In those countries, only the taxpayers can file an appeal, and to make the tax tribunal against tax tribunal. However, in India, that is not the case. Only when the income tax statute is amended to mandate that only taxpayer can file an appeal against the appellate authority of the tax administration, that is CIT appeal, can the first step to a permanent solution be taken. The tax administration wing would of course retain power to reassess taxpayers' income in specific cases, that is subsequent detection of fraud, etc. The number of appeals filed before the ITAT will substantially reduce. These statutory measures will also need to be accompanied by the structural changes within the tax department. One concern could be that officials of the tax department will become overly conservative, that is pro-revenue, in their decision making, if they perceive that their quasi-judicial powers as CIT appeal will not be subject to any appeal by the tax department. This has not been the case in other countries that allow the taxpayer to file an appeal to the tribunal. Parallel institution measures to strengthen the internal assessment and dispute resolution procedures should accompany such a change. One step would be a common appellate division which is functionally independent of the assessment division. After internally evaluating the taxpayer's objections and the assessment wing's observation on the assessment order, such division, that is appellate division, would take a final decision that is binding on the tax authorities. Such division would also take a uniform view on the issues of deciding whether the department would file an appeal against a tax tribunal or a high court order. Another step would be to streamline the assessment process to ensure that it is not based on the sole judgment of a single assessing officer, which is now part of the faceless assessment procedure as per section 144B, where there are various tax authorities are involved in framing the assessment. I have learned that during these 2 days, various subjects such as taxation of charitable trust, NRI taxation, FEMA implication, drafting of reply of GST show cause notice, and appeals under GST law, reopening of assessment vis-a-vis unproved purchases are to be deliberated by the eminent speakers and experts in the field. Let me set the ball rolling by dwelling upon and highlighting the issues pertaining to some of the topics in brief. We all know that charitable trusts are engaged in the act of helping others, rendering philanthropic service by discharging collective social responsibilities in the form of charity as an obligation. There are charitable trusts which are doing such voluntary service which include religious and other activities for upliftment of poor, providing medical and services to needy persons of the society. We all know that subsection 15 of section 2 defines charitable purpose, and with effect from assessment year 9-10, there is a proviso which is added to the effect that prior to because as it stands prior to 2009-10, business income of the charitable trust or institution was also eligible for exemption. But after that, it was not made eligible for exemption. With effect from 1/4/2009, the advancement of any other object of general public utility shall not qualify as charitable purpose if the same involves carrying on any activity in the nature of trade, commerce, or business, or rendering of service in relation to any trade, commerce, or service for a consideration. However, from year 2002, with effect from 1/4/2009, the such limit is, cap is prescribed at ₹10 lakhs by the Act, Amendment Act. Honorable Supreme Court delivered 2 landmark decisions dealing with conditions and entitlement of charitable institution to claim exemption under the Income Tax Act, that is Ahmedabad Urban Development Authority case dealt with provisions and conditions of a charitable institution engaged in the activity of advancing object of general public utility. New Noble Education Society dealt with issue of whether the education institution can be engaged in other activities or not. We are living in this world where now it is a global village. The topic of non-resident Indian and FEMA implication is very significant in recent times, as many citizens are earning income by rendering service outside the country. With the liberalization of foreign exchange, monitoring the operations properly from time to time has reduced the risk of financial uncertainty in the foreign matters. In such a developing phase, a well-incorporated foreign market should be of utmost importance as it affects the development of the country. Hence, in the foreign market, the inflow and outflow of the foreign currencies from the import and export trade sectors are also emphasized greatly globally. Foreign Exchange Management Act has helped to give us its share to the economy and the business sector, and its implication on tax structure and the taxability of the income earned by the NRIs will be of great help to all of us while advising to our clients, to your clients. Friends, with effect from 1st July 2017, Goods and Service Tax Act has come into effect. All we know that the GST is a combined tax system which has replaced multiple indirect taxes levied by both central and state government following dual structure, and many teething trouble has cropped up during the initial period, resulting into litigation mainly pertaining to transgression of the credit which was carried forward to the new regime. In such litigations, mainly the issue pertains to filing of Form Tran 1. The Honorable Supreme Court has opened the window for some time and thereby greatly helped to reduce such litigation. The most important aspect of the GST is ITC. You will also learn a great during these 2 days about the niceties of the major issue arising out of the with regard to the input tax credit, which is one of its key features to eliminate the cascading effect of tax, as GST is a comprehensive tax levy on manufacture, sale and consumption of goods and services at national level. I am sure that you will all be apprised of intricacies of the provisions relating to input tax credit and matching mechanism, which makes sure that there is no duplication in claiming of ITC. We are all faced with these days as lot of litigation is arising of reopening on account of unproved purchases. Generally we call it bogus purchases and accommodation entry. This topic is of utmost importance and only very interesting, but raises various issues relating to assessment frame by treating such purchases as deemed income under section 69C or 69A deemed investment from out of such purchases. Reopening on the basis of such information received in possession of the assessing officer on the basis of the inquiry made in relation to particular assessee under the provisions of the Act, reopening is depending upon the information which is received. However, there is always reopening is done. We have come across that only because of some inside portal information is given and without making an inquiry as contemplated under section 148A, subclause A. The assessing officer simply issues the notice under section 148B and thereby the calling upon the assessee, and thereafter straight away the order under section 148D is passed by reopening the assessment. This issue is required to be addressed by the learned speaker at great length. I did not say anything on the subject to be dealt with in the last session, namely brain trust. I leave it to the persons who have better brains. I am afraid I have taken a longer time than necessary for inaugurating this conclave. I am grateful to the organizers of the conclave for giving me an opportunity to study the various topics to be dealt with in this conclave. Before I conclude, I declare that whatever I have said shall not be used as a precedent or advance ruling in any court of law. I will conclude saying that let every tax planner and every taxpayer get everything as desired. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Justice Bhargav the Karia sir, for your enlightening, insightful, thought-provoking speech and sharing your knowledge, experience and expertise with all of us. I request everyone to give a huge round of applause and standing ovation to our Honorable Chief Justice. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sparing time with all of us and being present among us. Now it's time to recognize the efforts of our members from both the organization for their extraordinary contribution and achievements by worthy hands of our chief guest. I request Advocate Dhiresh T. Shah have been awarded as Ambassador of Goodwill by Lions Club. I request our chief guest to please honor him with a memento. Followed by CA Dr. Vishwesh Shah for achieving CA Dr. Vishwesh Shah, who has achieved PhD, being the Faculty of Commerce in Capital Structure and Startup, and the second achievement becoming the Social Auditor. He had also cleared the social auditor examination conducted by ICAI. Here we felicitate Advocate Amit Soni for being appointed as member of Child Welfare Committee, Khera District. Now it's time for the felicitation. Now it's time for felicitation of our committee members by our chief guest. I request CA Bakul Shah, Chairman Convention Committee, followed by CA Ravi Shah, President AGFTC, CA Ashish Tekwani, President ITBA, CA Sridhar Shah, Secretary AGFTC and Vice President CA Jaykishan Pamnani Ji, Secretary ITBA, Now I request Honorable Secretary AGFTC CA Sridhar Shah to please give the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you. Our today's chief guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Bhargav Karia, Justice Gujarat High Court, our distinguished speakers, Chairman Conference, Advocate Dhiresh T. Shah, Chairman Convention Committee, CA Bakul Shah, President AGFTC, CA Ravi Shah, President Income Tax Bar Association, CA Ashish Tekwani, Co-Chairman of the conference, the galaxy of the past President of both the association, office bearers of both the association, office bearers of the associations from Ahmedabad and Mofusil who have come here especially for this wonderful two-day tax conclave, most valued invited guests, delegates from media, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a great privilege to have been asked to extend a vote of thanks for this August gathering on the occasion of inaugural session of two-day tax conclave 2024. We are sure that this event is going to add value to the lives of all the participants. The very presence of today's chief guest, Honorable Justice Mr. Bhargav Karia, Justice of Honorable Gujarat High Court in today's program is motivating as well as inspiring for all of us. His wisdom as a chartered accountant, advocate and judge has truly blessed us with his address today, covering taxes and judicial aspects. We are truly inspired by your gracious presence and address, sir. Thank you. It is said that the spoken word has power, and I have always believed in using that power to inspire or uplift others. I'm sure that the combination of the experience and wisdom of all the speakers will surely uplift the knowledge of many participants. We must thank and congratulate all the participants for making a decision to invest their 2 days dedicated to learning. Also the efforts of the team Tax Conclave in organizing this event and love of every one of you. It has now made today Tax Conclave a shining brand. We are excited to announce the date of next Tax Conclave. That's the 6th edition of Today Tax Conclave 2025, which will be held on 7 and 8 March 2025. And the booking starts today. Early bird booking starts today. So I request everyone, online and offline, both the registrations are open. Register in maximum numbers. We want to close it as soon as possible. Thank you and wishing you all a wonderful learning session both the days. Thank you.
Thank you, Sridharji. Now I request dignitaries on the dais and off the dais to please raise for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे गाजे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Hello. Now I request dignitaries on the dais to please come forward for the group photograph. After group photograph, we are about to start our next session with CA Girish Ahuja sir by 10:15 a.m.